Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We're really excited to host our first HTS Research webinar of 2026, and we've got a really great topic today. We have a lot of content to cover, so let's jump right in. Today, we're going to be digging into insights pulled from our most recent insight report, The Trend Shaping Travel Commerce in 2026. Before we start, I do want to briefly touch on who Hopper and HTS are. I know we have a range of audience members who might be familiar with one or both of the brands that operate within the Hopper company. Over 10 years ago, we launched the Hopper app. You might be familiar with our coral bunny logo. The Hopper app grew to be one of the leading travel apps in North America, and today it remains our direct-to-consumer channel. It's where we spend most of our time innovating, iterating, and experimenting to really deeply understand what consumers are looking for, what resonates with them, how we should present it to them, and what is the best way to optimize product rollout. In 2021, we launched Hopper Technology Solutions, which is the B2B arm of our business. And I know many of you are HTS partners. We have launched a full range of products over the past couple of years, and we have many different commerce, fintech, media, AI assist products live on a number of the world's leading travel brands. We have really great breadth of partnership, but also depth of insight into what's happening in all of these different pillars of the travel industry. And this is really what we leaned on to build this report. Today, HTS powers more than $6 billion of travel sales. Through partnerships with credit issuers, we are partnering to deliver solutions to more than 400 million credit card holders worldwide. And we've sold more than 2 million fintech products to customers around the world. Each year, we're selling more and more travel. We're accessing more cardholders and customers worldwide, and we're selling more fintech. This really depth of insight into consumers and the breadth of the travel industry that we cover through partnerships with these HTS partners and many more is how we were able to look really deeply at what the trends were that may have been fleeting and what trends we felt really would define 2026 and probably travel commerce for the next couple of years. This is where our core 7 trends for the year emerged from. And I'll be honest with you, when we set out to do this research, I thought we'd probably identify maybe 3, maybe 4 insights that would really be valuable to speak to what was happening next in travel commerce. And the reality was we could not get this list down below 7. These 7 trends really feel to us at HTS and Hopper the most important insights that we can carry into 2026 and are likely to be themes not just of this year, but of years to come, and are important to how we think about longer term strategy for ourselves and our commerce partners. We have a lot of content to cover here, so we're going to jump right in with trend number 1, which is the fact that travel commerce is moving towards more owned ecosystems. Historically, travel commerce has been handled by intermediaries, but many travel commerce providers are no longer happy to hand off customers for a transaction to happen somewhere else. The reason is travel is the largest category of discretionary spending in the world. It's not just big, it's also growing despite headwinds that we have seen consistently in the last 2 years, but even more broadly in the last 5 or 6 for travel. This is a category that everyone wants a slice of. So for commerce providers, whether they be banks, loyalty programs, consumer brands, credit issuers, the idea of sending a customer somewhere else to transact is now not something that they want to pursue. There are a couple of key factors why. First is something I'm sure we're all familiar with, which is the rising cost of acquisition. A lot of companies have been traditionally reliant on paid digital channels to acquire new customers. There's a lot of fragmentation and competition in that space, which means that acquisition costs are constantly rising in an environment where I think many of us would like to be reducing cost. The second piece, which is close to our hearts at Hopper and HTS, because we are a very data-driven company, is the strategic value of first-party data. In a world where we are all fighting for a slice of that travel wallet, having a direct relationship with consumers, having data on how you can better offer relevant content to them, how you can optimize pricing for those users, any information that allows you to elevate the level of personalization being offered has incredible value. This you lose when you move customers to transact somewhere else. We're going to talk a lot about rewards today. It really is a theme of what's coming for travel commerce. Within owned ecosystems, you are able to better bundle travel with rewards, earn and burn, offer a range of travel, fintech, upsell opportunities, all within a single channel. This increases that share of wallet commerce partners are able to connect with for their customers. And the last piece, margin pressure. We know that margins on travel can be razor thin. By bringing an ecosystem fully in-house, travel providers and travel commerce providers are more easily able to add margin additive layers. Whether that is a fintech product, a rewards program that drives loyalty and long-term value, bundling services. This is something that can only happen when commerce providers are owning their full ecosystem and not sending customers elsewhere to transact. We have a really interesting example from our partner Trip, where HTS and Trip partnered to convert what was traditionally what you might call an intermediary in the trip planning process into a conversion driving loyalty program that has been hugely successful. TripAdvisor came to us. You're probably all familiar with their website and their app, where you can plan a trip, see reviews from real customers, photos of a property you're interested in, but they handed customers off at the moment of purchase. TripAdvisor wanted to change this relationship. We partnered to bring hotel booking into the experience on web and app, and the results were really clear. TripAdvisor launched this hand in hand with a loyalty program of points, earn, and burn. And they have already seen those users who have access to book hotels and the loyalty program in this one ecosystem convert 3 times higher than the customers who are not within the loyalty ecosystem, just purchasing a hotel. On top of that, those customers who are buying hotels are adding fintech products 15% of the time. So not only is our partner Trip now capturing this transaction, they've increased the margin of the transaction by adding fintech and upsell opportunities in that funnel. I think this is a really great example of taking a clear market fit product like Trip and transforming it into something that is an owned ecosystem and offers this company the opportunity to better monetize the customers they already have and better meet the need of those customers who have clearly come to this outlet for more information and more support in the planning and booking process. So this shift to owned ecosystems, it's here to stay. It's where I expect travel commerce to go, not just this year, but long term. Travel commerce can be a really effective acquisition lever. It can drive loyalty. It unlocks more wallet share of this really exciting pie of travel spend. And it allows partners to improve the economics of what they offer. All of that is a feedback loop that feeds the economics of things like high retention loyalty programs and offerings that partners want to activate in order to acquire more users. So key takeaway here, this shift is here to stay. This is probably the most permanent shift we're going to see for the next couple of years in how commerce providers are thinking about travel. Now, fintech at HTS, we love talking about fintech. I really feel that HTS has been the engine behind the reinvention and expansion of fintech in the travel space. And what really drives this is fintech has become that high margin layer that travel providers and travel commerce providers can add to really transform the economics of a razor thin margin business. We have been building and selling fintech products for many years now. We have sold millions of our products in pretty much every country and territory in the world. And our fintech products have been added on more than $2 billion worth of travel transactions. So we know a lot about what customers are looking for, what travel providers and commerce providers need out of these products, and how to really thread the needle to create something that is mutually beneficial. The first part of fintech is the demand side. There's very clear demand from customers for more optionality and more flexibility when they're booking. Customers are looking for autonomy and to take back some control and decision making when they're in the travel process. We see that more than half of travelers say that flexibility to change or cancel is very important when they're making their booking decision. And nearly 3/4 of travelers say that real-time assistance when they're facing a disruption is very important to their booking decision as well. There is very clear demand for more flexibility. And this is where we see customers putting money to address the specific flexibility need. And the best part about addressing these flexibility and disruption response needs is that they are a very clear loyalty hook. Customers are telling us we need more options, we need more autonomy. And when they buy fintech products that directly address this need for maybe disruption assistance or flexibility, we see a really clear impact on their loyalty and the value that they bring to the provider where they've bought that product. Customers who use one of our fintech products come back and buy that product again 84% of the time. This is a huge repeat purchase rate, and it really shows that the value these products provide for customers is so great that they want to come back to that same provider, that same commerce platform, and book again so that they can buy this product. We see attach rate on partners who launch these fintech products grow more than 100% from launch. There are a lot of opportunities to continue to optimize these products even after they are being attached at a high rate. And the best part of all is the customer satisfaction. We see incredibly high customer satisfaction on fintech products. That hand in hand with the repeat purchase rate tells us really everything we need to know about the value these products add to users. The flip side of this is the benefit it drives for our partners who are actually selling this product on their own channels or on channels that we have jointly built. Partners of ours have seen 85% average category revenue increases by offering these products. When you think about how razor thin margins can be on air and hotel travel, this is a really substantial growth opportunity. The attach rates on fintech products that are directly addressing customer needs are anywhere from 8 to 15%. And again, this is across different types of partners where we've launched these products across different markets and presumably across different types of customers in each of these markets and on each of these platforms. We see really clearly that threading this needle of addressing a customer need with an efficient product that drives high CSAT unlocks an entirely new layer of margin for partners. That margin unlocks the next layer of building a loyalty program, creating a flywheel to capture more wallet share. And fintech really is one of the major muscles behind being able to do that. The takeaway for 2026 is we should fully expect that fintech as a customer customer CSAT improving driver will continue. It will also continue to be a highly efficient ancillary revenue stream and a premium service that really takes advantage of a clear customer need. Now, we can't talk about fintech without talking more specifically about disruptions. So in trend number 3, we really double click into one of the biggest anxieties facing travelers today, and those are disruptions. We have seen a rise in the frequency and also the severity of disruptions in the last couple of years, even notably in the last 6 to 12 months. A lot of these disruptions are not disruptions that are in the control of airports, airlines, hotel properties. Many of them are things like very unexpected, severe inclement weather. Think about massive floods in the United States, centuries large floods. Things like a fire at a power station that shuts down the entire London Heathrow Airport for more than 12 hours. Or labor strikes or government shutdowns that are having massive impacts on the ability of travel providers to provide the service that they'd like to be. Disruptions do present an opportunity to solve this anxiety and give customers solutions, and as a result, build more loyalty and drive those repeat purchases. So let's start with the traveler demand side. We know that there's demand for our disruption solutions. I'm sure many of us have been at the airport and gotten that text update that our flight is delayed or canceled and felt this unexpected anxiety about how am I going to handle this disruption? What will the impact be? Most travelers say that the biggest concern they have is actually about the financial impact of a disruption, whether it be additional costs that they incur to get home to their destination or on to where they're headed, additional meals, hotel stays. The financial impact of a disruption impacting their flight really is the number one concern. Most travelers, as I mentioned earlier, say that they're willing to buy a product that gives them some kind of money back guarantee or some kind of autonomy to make a decision about their future when they face disruptions. And 70% say that real-time disruption assistance would be very important to their booking decision. The demand is very clear. We know that this is an experience that travelers are looking for a solution or at least an improvement to. This is what led us to build disruption assistance for any reason. This is one of our fintech ancillaries at HTS. We sell it on our own channels. We partner with travel commerce providers. We partner with airlines to distribute it on other channels. So we have a really clear picture of how offering a product like this impacts both the customer experience and also the economics of selling air travel. Our disruption product is very simple. It's a premium add-on. You can add it after you pick your flights out in a booking funnel. HTS proactively monitors day of travel for any disruptions. If the customer has a delay over 2 hours or cancellation, they get a proactive notification that tells them you have 2 choices. You can rebook yourself on the next available flight, doesn't matter what airline. If you need to fly into a different airport, we'll make it work for you. Or you can keep your disrupted flight and we'll give you a refund between 80 and 100%, depending on the product and the coverage that you selected. Disruption assistance is really effective because it gives customers choices in a moment where they often feel very paralyzed. You're already at the airport, perhaps, you're already through TSA, you're trying to get to your destination. Suddenly, you have proactive notification and you have options. And we see the benefits customers feel in the repeat purchase rate, which is 82%, and in the NPS, which is 65, which is just an absolutely best-in-class NPS for a product, especially when you think about the fact that customers use this product when they're not having a great day. They're stuck at the airport, they've had a cancellation or delay. The fact that the product can deliver such significant customer satisfaction really is a testament to how it addresses a customer need. So this is a bit about the product that we've built to address this problem and the problem more generally. I want to look at a case study that I think really clearly demonstrates the market for products like this and how they really clearly benefit both customers and those who provide the product. So at the end of last year in the United States, there was a lengthy government shutdown. And as a result of this shutdown, the FAA had to reduce the number of flights in airspace. We saw thousands of flights delayed, canceled, rescheduled, and there was about an 80% increase in the disruption rate on flights within the US into the US and from the US to international destinations. It was a really widespread impact, not just localized to a couple individual airports, but was nationwide. During this time, customers who had already bought prior to the shutdown disruption assistance products, they exercised this product 400% more than in a typical time of year without a shutdown. Those customers rated an even higher customer satisfaction score than the average score we see any day of the week, 91% customer satisfaction. And a lot of that is going to be driven by the fact that customers didn't have to get in line, get on the phone. They weren't a part of the wave of customers, probably overwhelming frontline support agents trying their best to reschedule all of these disrupted passengers. They were able to use self-serve automation, meaning directly in an app or on the website where they booked. They rebooked themselves or they accepted the refund and kept their disrupted flight 94% of the time. On top of seeing high usage and high satisfaction, we also saw that customers who were booking new trips during this period of anxiety, when the media was covering, the reduction in schedules, the mass cancellations, we saw a 58% increase in attach on the product. And these weren't for trips that were happening maybe a week out when the shutdown might still be continuing. These were for trips happening more than a month away. This happened in November, so these are holiday trips at the end of the year, maybe even trips for January to a warm weather destination. I really think that this case study is a unique way of looking at the two sides of offering a product like this that directly addresses a consumer need. It is the consumer benefit of removing some of these upset customers from the front lines of customer support agents at the airport, solving their challenge, their disruption in the way that's best for them, giving them choice. And the flip side, having a product that directly addresses a rising consumer need when that anxiety is really pervading new bookers as they go through the funnel. We should expect that disruptions are going to continue. We should expect that customers will continue to hang on to anxiety about the impact of those disruptions. And that means that there's a very clear opportunity to provide a solution to customers that not only increases their loyalty to the platform where they've booked, not only solves the problem that they have in the moment that they're experiencing it, not only reduces the load on travel providers' front lines during an unexpected blizzard or during a labor strike, it also adds margin to the provider who is offering the product. And that is the perfect flywheel of solving a customer problem while generating new ancillary revenue. And this is something that I think we're going to continue to see expanding in 2026. All right, we've talked a lot about loyalty and how travel commerce providers are trying to capture more and more of customers' travel spend in a year. The greatest muscle that travel commerce providers have to drive loyalty is becoming the travel wallet. What we see is today, rewards, points, miles, whatever the currency is replacing cash as the travel currency. half of travelers who booked something most recently booked it with some combination of points, miles, or rewards, and cash. If we look by generation, we can see that Gen Z, this rises to 71%. For millennials, 65, a clear step change for younger generations. We know that these younger generations of travelers, they're building wealth, defining their preferences, their income will rise, their share of that total global travel spend is going to increase. So the trends that they define now are what we need to be looking for to see for the next 30 or 40 years of their travel expenditure. Rewards and points are going to be the cornerstone of capturing wallet share from these customers. When customers are picking where they're going to spend their travel dollars, travel wallets are a extremely efficient and impactful way of better capturing that spend. The table stakes for a travel wallet are first earn and burn. If the new currency of travel are points and rewards, you have to have an earn and burn program that incentivizes customers to spend those dollars on your commerce platform. The second piece is offers and promotions. There are a lot of advertisements out there. They're competing for customers' attention. Everyone is competing to acquire customers and capture that wallet share. Having offers and promotions that are customized to the traveler's need, which you can do if you have first-party data with an owned ecosystem, offering those promotions and offers at a relevant time to the customer. This is how you create a really efficient wallet that captures the spend of the customers who are browsing. And the last piece is relevant products and supply. If customers are going to spend their rewards in one place, they want to be able to book their flight and their hotel all in the same portal. They want to be able to rent their car for pickup at the airport. They also want to be able to use those rewards and points to add a fintech product maybe, or purchase an upgrade or a seat blocker so that they don't have to share their row with anyone else. The most efficient travel wallets are this comprehensive. They really offer all sides of what customers are looking for, and that's what hooks them in to spend those travel dollars on your specific commerce platform. When we see travel wallets effectively deployed, they drive very clear loyalty outcomes. And this is the goal, right? We want to capture these travel dollars and we want to retain them. And we want customers to repeat with these high value transactions in future. When we have seen partners work with us to deploy really best in class travel wallets in addition to their booking platforms, we see about 4 times higher conversion from the customers who have travel rewards. And we see substantially higher repeat purchase rate from customers who, again, are booking with those rewards and who are earning. Our infrastructure reaches more than 400 million customers of cardholders worldwide. So this is not just a trend we see in one large region. We see this on partners large and small around the world who are offering travel commerce to their customers in a lot of different ways. And a great example of that is our partner Nubank. So for those of you who are not familiar, Nubank is a digital bank based in South America. We partnered with them to bring travel commerce and a travel booking platform to their customers in Brazil, where more than 60% of Brazilian adults are customers of Nubank. We launched with them Nu Viagens. It's their travel booking portal, which is fully enabled by a travel wallet that includes points earn and burn. They have multiple functionalities for offers and promotions customized to their customers. And they also included NuPay, which is their installments offering to help their customers subsidize and finance their trips via installment payments, which is table stakes in Latin America. The result of focusing so concretely on developing a really efficient travel wallet and rewards program is that Nubank has seen more than 550% growth in the performance of this portal since launch. The travel wallet really is the engine behind capturing and retaining all of that travel spend. And this is why I really feel that travel is going to be the centerpiece of loyalty strategies for travel providers, but also for card issuers, for banks, for loyalty programs who are looking to get into the travel space. Travel, it can be lucrative when done right, and travel wallets really become the muscle and the engine behind capturing at acquisition and retaining all of that travel spend. All right, trend 5. We really can't talk about what's next for travel without talking about AI. Agentic AI in particular has been talked about a lot with regard to how it's going to impact customer support and how we service in the travel space when we have these higher volumes of disruptions, when we have long lines at airports, and it remains really challenging to efficiently staff customer support front lines. So starting with where travel customer service is today, I think many of our travel providers in the audience know that travel customer service is constantly under strain. In an environment where we are all trying to contain costs, service costs continue to rise and can be incredibly inefficient when we're also trying to balance servicing through greater disruptions. More people are traveling than ever before. Disruptions are more frequent and are often happening during peak travel times like the summer months, holiday travel periods, and it's really challenging for customer support staff to be trained, to be available, and to be able to handle these massive increases in frontline contacts, especially as these disruptions change the patterns of when we need higher staffing and when travel volumes are increasing. The last piece here is traveler expectations. Travelers are always looking for a resolution when they contact customer service. As other parts of their lives are made more efficient and customer support in other categories becomes more impactful and gets them to resolution faster, customers are going to expect that from travel. Travel is emotional. Customers have invested a lot of money in trips. So when they face challenges that cause them to need customer support, they want speed, efficiency, impact, and more than anything, they want a conversational experience so they know what's happening. This is where agentic AI has a real opportunity to transform traditionally negative experiences for customers into something much more baseline, potentially positive. Since we have partners across a range of this industry and we have our own direct channel to consumers, we've invested a lot of time in understanding how to build the right agentic agent for travel. So our approach here was really to first look at all of the data that we have. We have more than 16 million historical conversations from the last 12 plus years of selling travel on our own channel. We also have the back-end connectivity. We have the pipes to make changes to actually impact the outcome of a customer support contact. And we're able with our technology to connect those two things and create what we call HTS Assist, what is essentially an agent that can actually resolve customer requests when they come to the front lines. Our agent can handle autonomous end-to-end resolution. So when you think about agentic AI in a customer support space, you might be thinking about, hey, we can use this as a layer to get more information from customers before we hand them off to a human agent. The way we approached this was, can we make this agentic system so autonomous that it can handle most of the requests coming in completely independently. What we see is that we're able to build a product that when you reach out, it can reschedule your flight for you. It can cancel your trip, process your refund. If you are struggling with a fintech product for some reason, it can help you manage your fintech exercise. It can also book you a new trip. If you're canceling one and you want to book something different, it can support pretty much any requests customers come to customer support to resolve. And the best part about this is by capturing and resolving so many of these contacts, the remaining human agents are able to be that final frontline for the most complex and the customers who really do need to speak to a human who can resolve their issue end to end, really taking all of the low-hanging fruit out of the pipeline to that frontline human agent. What we have seen, having implemented this product on our own channels and with some partners, is very clear. First is, as you might expect, cost reduction. On average, the partners where we've launched this have seen a 65% reduction in their servicing costs. On a per contact basis, per resolution, we have seen 92% cost savings. But what I find to be the most interesting piece of this is that there is absolute customer satisfaction parity between those customers who had their resolution made by a human and those had their resolution made by the AI agent. And what I believe this really comes down to is the conversational approach that our agents have been trained on, the fact that they are able to fully resolve and there's no handoff to a human agent that might discourage or disrupt the conversation that the customer is having. And the opportunity that this creates is really clear. If we're saving costs and we're making customers happy, we've created a really positive feedback loop, which allows us to shift how we think about customer support from a pure cost center to maybe a frontline where we can improve the customer experience, therefore driving loyalty, and even potentially drive future conversion. If a customer is working with the agentic agent, 15% of those conversations actually resulted in a new purchase from a customer. So there's a real opportunity for AI agents, specifically HTS Assist, in what we're experimenting, to actually turn customer support into something that is at least revenue neutral, potentially even revenue additive. This is what I spoke to, and the ability for Assist to influence upsell. We're testing this out and seeing really interesting results. And what we hope to see is really this shift from cost center to potentially revenue driver for something that has, for a very long time, I think had more of a negative connotation, being a pure cog. So in summary, AI servicing, it's not just an idea anymore, and it's not a frontline barrier to human agents. What AI is turning into for customer support and travel is a new foundational layer that we can build travel operations upon. And when you have the connectivity and you have the data to create a really efficient product, an agent, you see really clear results, both in cost and also that neutral customer support impact, meaning that customers are as happy with their resolutions via an agentic agent and via an analog or a human agent. All right, trend number 6 is a really interesting one. It takes us in a slightly different direction. But travel media, which has been historically very fragmented in the travel space, is experiencing a transformation, and it's beginning to emerge as a core profit center in a way that it never has been in the travel space before. Today, travel media is extremely inefficient, and as a result, it's extremely under-monetized. I know many of our audience members are probably very familiar with this problem. The fragmentation of travel media is one of the key Achilles heels. Travel ads have been historically very fragmented across Meta and affiliate channels. It limits advertisers' impact, and it's also very costly. The secondary blow of this fragmentation is that traditionally Meta and affiliate advertising channels are casting a very wide net, but ultimately reaching lower intent customers. It makes that spend very inefficient, even though it's reaching a wide audience. The most important piece of this inefficiency is something that we've actually seen Instagram and TikTok and other media channels figure out very quickly, and that's commerce enablement. If you think about Instagram and TikTok, they very quickly identified the opportunity to take advertisements and enable the commerce side of them. So today, if you see an advertisement on either one of those channels, you're able to immediately activate on the ad and book or purchase whatever it is that you've been served. This is what's lacking in travel today. That connection between seeing an advertisement maybe for a particular destination or a particular time of year, and then the ability to immediately convert on that advertisement. What we have experimented with and seen really exciting results from is adding this enablement layer. So on the Hopper app, for example, we have paired advertisers with our publishing platform, and we are serving customers real-time offers and promotions that are relevant to them. We know what customers have searched for. We know that they typically take a trip at X time of year, and we're able to pair those high intent customers with the right promotions at the right time to drive conversion. And we've seen really exciting results from pairing this publishing side with this advertising side on commerce enabled channels. We've seen about 78% year over year growth just from this segment of our business. During sales events, we see anywhere from 40 to 120% sales lift. Those might be single day events. They might be a week-long event. And the best part is 100% of that upside is funded by advertisers. And it's a two-sided benefit. Consumers are getting the discounts and offers that are relevant to them. We see the advertisers directly accessing high intent customers, which makes their spend the most inefficient it could be. And for travel commerce providers, bringing these two groups together is what opens the opportunity to see sales and revenue go up by anywhere from 40 to 120% just in a single day or just in a single week. It's really exciting, I think, to see how we can take something from a completely different industry and understand how that same enablement can be optimized in this new travel commerce space. We have experimented with how to do this with our partners in a lot of different ways. These are just a handful of examples, but I am sure that our media team would tell you that we are open and trying lots of different experiments constantly on all of our partners' channels. But whether it be partner-funded offers where we promote a destination to a user where we think that user will really resonate with the offer, whether it's a major sales event where there's a marketing investment with discounts and offers all subsidized by partners to really boost sales for a period, or something more nuanced like a sponsored listing that promotes a higher margin property that we think a customer would be interested in. We talked a bit about the value of first-party data in a few of these sections, but when it comes to media, the ability to retarget customers based on what they've searched for or what they've interacted with creates another opportunity to connect those customers with the discounts, the offers, the promotions that are going to be most relevant to them. I think a really great example of how we've tangibly implemented this commerce-enabled media approach is Travel Deal Tuesday. I think many of you are familiar with Travel Deal Tuesday, but for those who are not, In 2017, our chief data scientist, Patrick, at Hopper and HTS, identified that prices for flights and hotels were dropping the Tuesday after American Thanksgiving. That weekend after American Thanksgiving, with Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday, is a huge spending weekend. And at that time of the year, a lot of people have already booked holiday travel. They're not thinking about what's next. For that reason, travel providers were already lowering prices to try to drum up some additional demand during a low period. We branded Travel Deal Tuesday out of this natural Tuesday lull, and it has really snowballed into an industry-wide event where customers have come to expect really great offers and a day where they spend a tremendous amount on travel. What we have done is we've taken our Travel Deal Tuesday event and we have fully funded it with advertising spend, pairing our customers with hundreds of thousands of dollars of savings brought to us by these advertisers. And the impact is really clear. Our most recent Travel Deal Tuesday, we saw double the traffic of an average day. We saw 2 to 3 times higher booking rates on hotels and flights. And all of this was efficiently connecting customers who were looking to spend on travel with advertisers who were looking to directly impact those customers' booking decisions. So a really efficient combination of advertisers and customers enabled by these commerce platforms. I expect that now that these efficiencies and this opportunity has been better identified and that the solution has been tested and implemented, I think we are going to see travel commerce providers really transform from just travel platforms into almost media networks, a place where publishers are combining with advertisers to bring customers the discounts and promotions that enable them to book more travel and enable that platform to capture more of their spend. All right, last trend number 7. This is one that I know the engineers at HTS are probably the most excited about. And this is the transformation of the technology behind travel platforms from monolithic systems to modular platforms. And this is a lot of big words and buzzwords for the shift from very large monolithic code bases to API first product development. There are a few reasons why this is happening. It's very challenging given how antiquated a lot of the technology powering travel is, because so much of this technology was built 25 years ago or more. APIs allow significantly faster innovation. They are more flexible. They allow you to build with speed, but also adapt very quickly if consumer needs change suddenly. And it enables commerce partners to activate and capture more wallet share faster. A few ways that APIs specifically impact that product development timeline: shipping categories and products faster. In a traditional monolithic code base, you would need to, each time you launch a new category, build that from scratch. With an API first approach, when a partner is interested in launching a new travel category or maybe a new product, it can happen within days, rather within months. And it happens with the support of a very light engineering group, just enabling the API, rather than entire engineering organizations focused for months on development. It is faster and it's more cost efficient. It also allows you to be really flexible when it comes to adapting to consumer needs. If your customers suddenly begin to behave in a different way, or there is an experiment that reveals a unique insight about how your customers are different or need a different experience, on an API first platform, that's no problem. It's easy to adapt and it's easy to capture whatever incremental demand is available there. Implementing new connections, whether that be new suppliers, new channels, new providers, it can happen rapidly without rebuilding from start. And then again, the piece that engineers, I think, would be most excited to hear, the operational resilience side. When you are building and scaling a commerce platform with an API first approach, you are not building and scaling your tech debt as you build and scale your operation. You're eliminating unnecessary code and database management. You're allowing the core partner team to focus on how can I grow revenue? How can I better meet my customer needs rather than focusing on tech debt or being held back by tech debt and slow timelines. Our commerce platform at HTS is built API forward, and here is kind of an example of how you can think about shifting from really one after another projects to being able to work across different parts of the technology simultaneously with an API first approach. On our partner channels, in this example, we're able to partner to improve the loyalty program through experimentation at the same time that we are deploying fintech products, optimizing the placement, the pricing, at the same time that we're implementing this commerce-driven media strategy, at the same time that we're implementing AI-driven servicing. So with our API first approach, we are experiencing a lot of speed to market and speed to innovation because we are unlocked from this monolithic platform and this tech debt. And we're not the only ones. This is the direction that we see technology in the travel space moving to. For travel providers, for commerce platforms, what this means is being faster to market and being more competitive in capturing that limited travel spend that is available in the marketplace. So this is now a competitive requirement. It's where we expect the technology in this industry to go, both in the short and long term. And it is likely to impact everyone's speed to market and the competitiveness of these travel platforms in fighting for the share of those dollars. So zooming out, we've made it through all 7 of our travel commerce trends for 2026. There has been, I think, a lot of insight in here and a lot of content, which hopefully helps you think a little bit more critically and probably opportunistically about what's to come in 2026. We are certainly very excited to continue experimenting in all of these spaces in collaboration with our partners that run the gamut, from airlines and hotels to credit issuers and banks and loyalty programs. And we're really excited to see where we end the year, especially with these trends guiding where we focus. We've covered a lot of content, and though we have the long form report available for you to download from the HTS website that goes deeply into each of these trends, we also would encourage, if you have any questions about how we got here, about how we're approaching this at HTS, please feel free to reach out via email to htsinfo@hopper.com, and we will route you to the right person to help answer your questions, meet your needs, whatever it is that comes up. Most of all, thank you all for joining. This will be available as a recorded webinar. You should get an email when the webinar ends with a link to the recording. The materials, as I said, are available on the HTS website if you would like to read the report that this webinar pairs with. And feel free to reach out to us with any questions. And thank you so much for joining. We appreciate your time, and for many of you, we appreciate your partnership as well.